Vocal Dialect. We are in the building once again. Peace and power, family. I'm Knowledge Born 7. I'm here with my partner, Kinwato Akil, Brother Gerald Moore, Brother Shaka Sankov. He's going to be coming on later. We have two special guests in the building. We have Marvin Thomas and also Brother Blackfoot. Brother Marvin, you go first, and Brother Blackfoot, you guys go ahead and introduce yourself.
Who want to go first?
Go ahead, Marvin.
My name is Marvin. Marvin Thomas, aka Real Talk, from Landover, Maryland. Pretty much I'm from the universe, man. Like I say, I've been around to Maryland, DC, and Virginia area. Like I said, I bring a lot of awareness to the community from the DMV. Especially when it comes to the youth, our senior citizens, things like that. I deal with a lot of athletes and non-athletes, especially our senior citizens, far as teach them a lot of fit class and things like that. I'm just here for the people, man. That's all I can pretty much say about myself.
That's right. Brother Blackfoot, man, from DC. Good friends of Brother Shaka Sankofa, Brother Gerald. Me and Ken Waldo been talking a little lately, you know what I mean? We all revolutionary, all try to help the people out here, man. And it just seemed like, man, our people, man, in this era is one of the hardest to talk to today, man. You know what I mean? So, but hey, you keep going, man, because nobody gave up on me. You know what I mean? And so that make me keep going to try to help other people, those that want to help themselves. You know what I mean? Everything good, man. And I keep learning, brother. I've been, raised into that Christianity, man. I did 30 years in Islam. I was in the Pan-African movement for a while, got into the Moorish movement for a while, for 15 years. Hold on, motherfucker, trying to hit my car. Fucking, sorry about that. It's crazy, man. And sorry about that, y'all. And lately, I've done my genealogy, going back to one of my oldest family members, which is my great grandmother, which is a Creek Indian. You know what I mean? And just went back to her and my great grandfathers, which was Creek also. So I just say, hey man, I am who my ancestors are, man. Right. But but ain't nothing changed. That's for me. You know what I mean? But I still go out the same way to try to help my people, And I know that we've been lied to heavily. I mean, good God Almighty, we've been lied to, man. And I'm just here on earth, man, just trying to, help people, man, help themselves, man. You know what I mean? And I'm with y'all. I've been with y'all. You know what I mean? That's what we do. And hey, look, we don't all have the same ideology, man. But when it come down to helping the people, man, and look, I'm right.
Froze up from you, Ali. We didn't hear the last part of your own conversation, Ali.
What's that?
We didn't hear the last part of it.
I said that we don't all share the same ideology, but when it come down to helping the people, and we got to do what we got to do, man, I'm there with y'all, always been, and vice versa, man.
Okay. All right, family. We just gonna do a little bit open discussion. Before we got on, brother Marvin, you were speaking. Go ahead and continue, brother Marvin.
Yeah. But what I was saying, I had, a lot of, I ain't gonna say backlash, but I had a lot of people asking me a question why I was so insensitive when it comes to these illegal immigrants. And I was saying to myself, even though I don't follow the Black Lives Matter thing, but I spoke and said that when they had these marches, I didn't see a whole lot of Mexicans and Ethiopians and Nigerians and none of that. But I did see a whole bunch of white people definitely in the mix of protesting, because I went down to the White House myself when they had the Black Lives Matter thing was going on. There was a lot of white Europeans there. They was like more of them than black people that's down there marching. But like I said, nobody cried out for us when we was being tortured and slaughtered in the streets, our brothers and sisters. So I said, why should we feel that way about them? That was my thing about it. I just couldn't understand why people was looking at me like, "Hey, Marvin, you just so passionate about this." But why? With the history, we already know. A lot of us know the history, how our ancestors and forefathers were treated. Stumped, beat down, hung from trees, and whipped and dipped in hot oil and the whole 9 yards. So why should we feel any different from them? We like I said, we was brought over here. We was forced over here. They came over here voluntarily. So why didn't we voluntarily go back? That's all I had to say about it. I mean, anybody can speak on it. Do y'all feel that I was being unsensitive, or do you feel that maybe the way I might express myself?
No.
Maybe the way I might express myself because. Go ahead.
No, everybody entitled to their own opinion. One thing about the American dream is that every ethnic group make money off of black people. Every ethnic group is in our neighborhoods. We have been invaded, violated, everything. And not only that, though, we have also been put in a position where we allow culture vultures to come in and steal our culture, regurgitate it, and sell it back to us for profit. So, right now, I think us as a people don't have a skin in the fight. A lot of things that's going on for us, like in the media and publicly, that's dealing with other races, I think it's their fight. But then when something happens, they want us to be involved and also want us to donate. I don't think this is the time for us to get involved or to donate. I say let the chips fall where they may. We have a lot of things that's before us. We have a lot of things that's against us. But one thing I can say for sure, I like Brother Gerald comment one day. He said, I've been through Reagan, 2 Bushes, some other presidents. He said, I'll make it through this one. I'm talking about my good brother on the panel right here, Brother Gerald Moore. And I kind of feel like that. We also, we go through so much stuff that, we will continue to survive. I hate to use the baby kid syndrome, but yeah, that's where we are. You know what I'm saying? We're going to adapt. We're going to pivot, and we're going to keep moving. We see the plot, and it's coming right before our eyes. And a lot of people, our main goal right now is us. I hate, do the FUBU for us by us. We need to start looking out for us.
Don't realize that though. Some of our people don't even realize that our main goal.
It's us. We got to start looking out for us. We got to unify. We have to set aside our ideologies, our differences. Like the brother Chief Blackfoot just said, the different schools of thoughts that he come up through. He didn't necessarily particularly position himself in one, but he learned from those different schools of thoughts. And us as a people, we have to do that. We have to unify together, put aside our differences, our ideologies. When the dust clears, then we can fight over is it more? Is it is it noble? Is it the minister? We can debate all that, but right now the dust ain't even clear yet, and this is not the time for us to be putting ourselves in a position like that, debating or being argumentative about what esoteric knowledge we supposed to be following, or what esoteric leader or whatever school of thought we're supposed to be positioning ourselves to be behind. Our main focus is unification and be prepared. Because one thing for sure, other races are going to feel the punch that we have been taking as a people. They're going to feel that punch. I just watched the news and he's sending all the immigrants to Guantanamo Bay. They're going to feel the punch that we have been taking. Guess what? They can't take it. I know they can't take it. They're crying already. The Asians crying, the Hispanics crying, everybody crying. But when it happened to us, we keep on moving. We gonna see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you know, those particular ethnic groups are going through those sort of changes right now, and Marvin, you're gonna get backlash. Because the fact of the matter is just what Blackfoot said. He said the ideology that we have. We see things different. People gonna be critical of what you say, no matter what you tell them, however you explain it to them. You can make it as succinct as possible. They still gonna think that you know more than them, you know that they know less than you, and you taking advantage of a situation, but really you're only explaining how we can improve as a people. Because we have been impoverished by people, as Knowledge said. We have all these ethnic groups that come into our community. The Caucasian ain't letting them into their community to profit off of them. They profit off of us in every aspect of life, whether it's tragedy or just to feed us, anything that you can think of, they have control of it, or they have given other ethnic groups that possibility to improve their lives off of us. So basically, I wouldn't even worry about it. You know, just take it as it comes and continue to move on, because everybody's not going to accept knowledge no matter how you present it to them. So just keep on doing what you're doing. As long as you're excelling at what you do, hey, you fine.
I appreciate that, brother. Is Brother Shaka here?
What's up, my brother Shaka? Peace, brother.
Okay.
Peace, gods. How's everybody?
Hey, great, brother.
Great, gentlemen, when you join the fray.
Of course, being among men, man, being among strong men, and not real niggas, because real niggas is just real niggas. Being among men,
Real talk.
you know, I like being among the men, man. You know, just 10 toes down, you know, 24/7, 365. And I think Marvin was talking about the backlash he received from people about him standing firm on not supporting this big sweep of these illegal aliens.
Right.
Well, my opinion is a lot of times when you are telling the truth, you're going to get backlash. Just means that you striking nerves in people, you know, for the most part, and people don't like that because you're not conforming to a particular narrative, and you're not following an agenda. See, you know, they want us to be over compassionate for their situations, but nobody hears our cries each and every day. Nobody. And the thing about it is, you know, all these people have came and become multimillionaires, trillionaires, billionaires, created all these corporations and everything on stolen land. This is our property. You know, everybody, with the exception of us, is fucking trespassing. You know, everybody. on not just on a legal scale, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Not just on the legal scale, but a spiritual scale. They are on all levels, man. They are trespassing. And so once we, and that goes back to what Knowledge was saying about us putting all these differences to the side, because see, these globalists and these corporate thugs enjoy to see social media, to see us go back and forth and battle one another and have these vicious vile dialogues with one another pertaining on who's right and what's wrong and who's wrong. See, and right now they are comfortable with that type of energy that we're putting towards each other. And so once we just collaborate and understand who our enemy is, who's in the way, the people that look like us that are in the way, and the people that don't look like us that are in the way, then and only then we become a major threat. And that's when we can also
reclaim everything that was taken from us. We can't do it. 1,000 people can't do it. 10,000 people can't do it. It's the same. What's that slogan? I think Public Enemy usually takes a million. It takes a million to hold us back or something like that.
Taking nations of
You
millions.
know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, but what about who's gonna hold us back when we come? See, that's what we should be focusing on. And in the meantime, we need to do a major sweep. You see how ICE is sweeping and going from door to door, capturing people? We need to have that same energy of capturing our people that are struggling, that are suffering, and raise them up. Because once again, some of our most strongest soldiers are struggling now, just stuck in the mud. And I'm not just saying drugs. I'm saying spiritual retardation, mental schizophrenia, over emotionalism, low self-esteem, low self-worth, self-hatred, the hatred of their own reflections. All of these things that is basically a cocktail that has been created for us to destroy one another. And so I'm not wasting no time debating somebody that looks like me.
Nope.
I want to challenge, but I will debate somebody that's my complexion just playing on the other team. As a matter of fact, they will get more fire up under their ass, than the Caucasian. You see what I'm saying? Because that's betrayal, man. And betrayal, that kind of hurts a little bit more, when somebody that looks like you is tying the noose around your neck for the clan. That hurts a little bit more. That stings a little different, because you already know what you're facing. But then when you got those that look like us, that's a whole different monster. And we got to come to an understanding and realize that we're not going to be on social media. Tomorrow's not promised for us to be building, so we must, time doesn't wait for nobody, man. We must take this time and start developing more cohesiveness among men. I don't care what nobody stands on. I support it. I won't disrespect it. As long as you understand what we're up against, I'm good with it. You can, I'll pick somebody up, a Hebrew Israelite dressed like he getting ready to audition for Gladiator 3. It don't make no difference to me. You know what I'm saying? You can be crowned all the way, gowns and all that. But if you got that warrior spirit, and then you community based, you practicing fatherhood, like Brother Ali, Gerald, and you all that have been hands on, not just hands on. Y'all been in your elbows and your shoulders in fatherhood. You know what I'm saying? That's examples, man. A lot of these young people don't see that. They don't see that, man. And being examples, all of you are examples to me. Y'all are my heroes, because I'm never bigger than the picture. You know what I'm saying? I'm never bigger than the group. I don't carry myself like that. I don't have a secretary. It's none of that, man. We don't move in that direction because men recognize men, man. You know what I'm saying? And Marvin is a iconic figure. They're not gonna give him the credit. They're not gonna give you that recognition because that makes them feel insecure. Their insecurities will surface. So you have to find out the circle of people and the circle of brothers and sisters that you actually belong with, that's going to respect you, going to give you your props, the proper adoration and accolades that you need to get. It's the same with Brother Ali. He's like a blood brother, like Gerald, like all of you. You know, blood. You know, that biological shit, man.
Hey, look, one thing that that Shaka said that I think a lot of us, and this is my opinion, a lot of us, man, we get fooled a lot of times, man, because you know it's really about genetics, man. And when you have people that have different genetics than us, and guess what? It can be people that look just like us. We can't get fooled about that, man. You got people, some skin folk are not kinfolk. They don't think like us whatsoever. So we can't get tricked either by them having melanin on their skin, man. Genetics play a big part in this stuff, man. And I'm saying that it took me almost 60 years to find this out. And I'm saying from the beginning, a lot of us, like I said, man, that we've been lied to in history. We've been lied to about what has happened to us over here. And we look at the pale face as the progenitor to bringing us all of this trouble. And it wasn't him. It was motherfuckers who looked just like us. You had Moors come over here, man, and wipe Indian tribes out.
Yeah.
Wiped us out, man. And you know what I mean? And they've been doing this stuff, man. They've been doing this stuff for a long time. They've been here since the 1500s, and then they amalgamate with some women. But they have been doing this. They got a different genetic, different thinking than we do, man. You know what I mean? So, of course, these pale faces come on later on, and they take power. But I'm saying, right now, you can see, man. Hey, look, man, I've been pulled over by some police sometime, and I was like, damn, hey, brother, what I do is say, man, look here, man, don't call me brother because I ain't your brother. I'm like, damn. Some motherfuckers just think different than we do. So we cannot get tricked in thinking that we can save all these melanated people, because a lot of them have different agendas than us, man. And they built totally different from us, man.
Yeah.
We are robbed of real economics, real social studies, real history, real mathematics, real religion.
All derived from us.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know what? Society is perpetuate that fact that, you know what, they want to bring us and give us them impropriety because the fact that just what they know about us, period. As Shaka was just saying, now to talk about esoteric, Scientology, we could go on and on. That derived from us. And I don't care whether we was Indians, we was blacks, or whatever have you, because we can talk about the Mongoloids that came across the Bering Strait, that came into the United States, that mixed in with the Mayans in Mexico. And you can tell, and you can say we all come from different ethnic groups, but of the shade of color. The war is not against white and black, it's the shade of color, the color of brown. That's where the war start. That's where the war's coming in at. That's where the disagreements even come in at, because you might get an octa room, a Carter room, or amalgamated child that might the same thing, got the same melanin in their skin as we do, but they just don't see the same things we see. And it's okay, because then I'm not going to lose my sense of awareness or my consciousness because of that person. I'm gonna continue to move on, because you're going to find some people that's going to listen to you. Everybody is not going. Everyone is not going to sit still and take what you say at 100%. They're just not going to do it, and that's just something we have to learn to accept.
Ken Water, go ahead. You finna say something.
I'm just gonna ask a question. Why are people so scared that Trump is in office now? To me,
I'm gonna say this.
Let me say to me, we still, whatever happens, we gonna get through it. We always got through it. So why people so Oh, Trump, oh, Trump. Man, that man gonna do what he gonna do regardless. Anybody else who come in the office, they gonna do what they go do regardless. So people acting like they are paranoid.
Man, we survivors.
Fear,
That's what I'm saying.
Fear can waddle, just like you said. They got fear in them, man. And that's the worst.
That's yeah.
I don't know
Ignorance,
why.
bro. It's more ignorance than fear.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a combination of both.
That's
But when
good.
you've been indoctrinated, when you have been thoroughly indoctrinated, and I'm talking about generations and generations, 15 and 20 generations of being indoctrinated with particular doctrines and ways of thinking. And, you know, everything that's innate in you spiritually has been stripped from you, you know, and has been replaced with fiction, mythology, astrology, and all of these fairy tales, you know, that was forced on us. You know, it just doesn't shake off. You know, now we've been programmed now. And see, this is just a result of how docile our people are. Because now we only think that it's one white devil. Now the rest of the devils are good devils. But it's just this devil is the bad devil. You know, and that's the and seeing how mentally ill that sounds, and that's how our people function. Because they say now they're looking at Jesus Christ is going to come after Trump. Now they've been saying that shit, you know, right before all these beams come down, all these chemtrails and all this mass murder. This white man gonna come out of the sky. I mean, out of the clouds. No, not on no drones or none of that, man. You know, with no underwear on, a nightgown that's been unbathed and unshaved with some flip-flops on, just gonna clean all this shit up. Our people actually think that. That's why I say it's mental illness. It's mental illness. Because everything that we look for outside of ourselves is in us.
Yeah.
And our people
Yeah.
fail to realize that and understand that because of indoctrination. Because of indoctrination, man. I told y'all, two of the hardest habits on the planet to kick is white sugar and religion. You can get off dope, you can get off crack, you can start smoking boke, you can control your sexual desires. You can go on a diet and stop eating. But you can't stop going to church, the mosque, temple, the synagogue. You're just not going to abruptly do that. You're not going to stop eating white sugar and everything that's connotated with white. White sugar, white bread, white milk, white rice, white people. You know, all of that. All of that's one conglomerate of death. And so our people are thoroughly entrenched in that. And I say that from a standpoint because I was like that.
Right.
We all
I
were.
went to prison like that. I went to prison and said, Jesus, you know, I was waiting on Jesus to come through at the parole hearing. And you know,
Did he show up, Shaka?
you know, in my cell, I mean, Marvin, he understand where I'm coming from with that. You know, when you're in your cell snotting and crying with the Bible in your hand saying you're a sinner, then you go to the chaplain and he confirms that you're a piece of shit, you know, and that you need to confess and, you know, and humble yourself and don't get in trouble in prison. If, you know, somebody slap you, you know, go get the CO and all of this stuff is part of making us docile. This is why black men now are like that. You can tell any brother right now that if another brother owes him $10 and he knows he goes to this, just say he goes to a particular barber shop, that brother will wait. He'll sit in his car 2 or 3 hours and burn up $40 worth of gas just to step to the brother for $10. You know, and this is the mental illness that our brothers are dealing with. Just like on the people our age, you know, most of them are done. I'm speaking on the Washington, the DMV. Most of the people my age are washed up. They don't have no fight or no bite in them, no more. They've surrendered. They're going along with the program. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But there are those like you and I. They're gonna fight tooth and nail because you've been blessed with the gift of discernment. You're able to see what the average person can't see because none of y'all are the average man. And don't ever think that. You just know how to hide in plain sight, but you're far from average. You're far from average. And so, just
But it's like
that's
I don't let, just like you said, we not average, but I don't have no ego, so I make people think that I'm there with them, and I am until it's time for something to go down, and this is where they will see the big difference, and that's with all of y'all. People we put our pants on the same way, just like everybody else. We might go out laughing and smiling some days, but when it's time for something to happen, that's when they gonna realize that, man, they already know that them dudes is different. They gonna say that. You know what I mean? But I swear, man, genetics really play a big part in all of this, man. It really does. You know what I mean? Because we just, you can look up, it's a gene, and it's called a VMAT2 gene. And a lot of the religious people, man, and people like that, they was invented with a VMAT2 gene. And a lot of people don't believe this, man. They've been cloning people a long time ago, man. We made this motherfucker, man.
Right.
Like our ancestors, man, actually, man, when they was talking about Yakub, that was just like a story, but it's true. We made them, man. And it's different genes that they was made with. VMAT2 gene. Some of us made with the damn VMAT2 gene. Hey, look, you just gotta go and really get into this, man. And it's just like earlier I was talking about how we've been here, there. These are different degrees that we have, man, by going into different things. And this is how I learned different things. I mean, like Shaka, no, man, we used to, man, be down everlasting life, man. Our whole classes down there, the more science classes, man. And once I find out, man, that that I've been lied to, man, I can't stick around, man. It's time to keep on moving, man. You know what I mean? But it's definitely different genes that a lot of people have been made with, and that's the reason why they won't make a move and do certain things. And that's the reason why they have a lot of fear in them. That's the reason why. You know what I mean? So until we just got to keep on doing what we do, man. Like I think Kenwado said, we gonna catch people though. We gonna catch people, man. But I know it's been, man, the last 15 years, man. I used to talk to young people, man. I'm telling you, man, all of us, I know. We used to talk to young people, man, and they would hear us, they'd see what we talking about, man. But like this generation right here, I ain't lying, man. It's been hard for me, man. Because they don't even have any understanding, man. They can barely read. They don't have any understanding, man, and it's really hard to get to them. Back in the day, we moved around Benning Road, all of us, all the Muslims, man, we moved around Benning Road and we lived amongst them. And so we could talk to them because they seen us wake up in the morning, they seen us go in at night, you know what I mean? We would help them out when they need help. And that was really a good way, effective way, man, of dealing with them, man. But like right now, just to go and talk to somebody, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm saying is, well, this is my belief. It's gonna be like this with us. until we learn how to stand in unity, organize. It's gonna be like this, man. You know what I mean? So
You made sense with that.
and you know, over the years, man, I see just us standing together in solidarity, man. That's a hard task within itself. You know.
Man,
That's
just
what
imagine if all 5 of us lived in the neighborhood together,
Right.
how that neighborhood would change. It would change, man.
Right. Right.
I'm telling you, man, but being that we all spread it apart is hard, man.
Yeah.
The youth is a different breed, you know.
Yeah.
Social media has been a gift and a curse for them. The antics on TV has been a gift and a curse for them. Them not paying attention and respecting the elders, or not even the elders, the big brothers, the big uncles. It has definitely been a gift and a curse. Us staying together and doing what we have to do for our people, that's the most important thing. Me, myself, has done mentorship. Ken Water has done mentorship. You know, we probably all have done mentorship. It's a hard task. They see things in a different light, and they feel entitled. And they have no work ethics, and neither do they try to move forward. They see money in a different light than we see money. My first job was cutting grass, raking leaves. Their first job is trying to get money. And then you have social media for us making a gigantic impression on them, saying that you can become this one-hit wonder. So everyone is trying to become this one-hit wonder. And all I see on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook is a lot of young people actually just selling information. They get a pop and they want you to follow their course or come take their master class. Young people now are having master classes on how to get money, you know, and pretty much they have learned the art of selling information and keep it going to see who's going to get the bigger bag, who's going to get the bigger money. You know, it was a young man that he had a YouTube channel and become real popular. He was making more money than his mom and his dad. He started disrespecting his mom and his dad. And I actually saw the young man one day. Man, that he was not the same guy that I had met before. Very arrogant. He had money and he did not care. But the whole thing of it is they have no character with it. They have no discipline. They have no foundation. I had an elder tell me one day, he said, your foundation is your orientation. That means if you cannot stand on nothing, you don't have the right to speak. And that's the truth. A lot of these people don't, a lot of young kids don't have no foundation. So they don't have no right to have dialogue because they haven't been through anything. A one-hit wonders hasn't been through anything.
Let me ask you one question. So who fuck do you think that is?
It is dealing with the kids, but it's also dealing with the system as far as the corporates of the United States of America, taking the father out of the home and also giving the mothers more benefits to keep the father out of the home. So it's therefore it's hard to parent your kid when you're out of the home with your kid. That's number one. Number two, stretching the black woman in such a way where she dislikes the black man. So the black woman feels as if I have my job, I bought my house, I bought my own diamonds. They're passing that around. I don't need a man. So therefore, it's hard for a black man to come and raise his child because they have pushed him out, separate him. I know a brother, man, he's fighting hard as hell just to stay in his kid's life. I mean, this guy worked. He
doing that though. There's a lot of brothers like that.
Yeah.
You know what? I can agree with some of that. I've been sitting there listening to that about the kids. And I mean, I am a father and a grandfather and a great grandfather. I think if we take a look back at ourselves, we used to be just like them. We used to be the kid that people would say to you, you know what? I thought you was a better thinker than that. I know you've been taught better than that. I know that you're doing this, but when that you capable of accomplishing or achieving something or manifesting something out of life. And that's what you was that's what you was just talking about. It all does start at home. We do have to understand that. You have to have that parental guidance. But when we look at the community, it's not only the mother and father fault, it's all our fault. Because I mean, when you're talking about mentors, you can pull a boy aside and say and tell him what's going on with him and explain it to him. You don't have to be overbearing with it. Because if you take I take Marvin for instance. Marvin teaches boxing. He didn't bring that up in his dialogue, but he does teaches boxing. So he's getting kids to come in that's looking forward to him assisting them. And when we assisting people and we teaching them discipline, we teaching them life lessons also. So we do have to take that time out of ourselves and take a role in it to play a significant role in that also. I'm not gonna tell no young fella, just like when I told a young lady, I said, look, let me explain this to you. When you tell a kid, see, we good at building everything up with a child, but we don't never want to tear it down. We'll tell the child, oh, you know what? Having sex is bad. Or we don't tell them that, oh, yeah, it's okay to have sex, but have it in the proper time. Because there is a time to have sex and there's a time not to have sex. But we're not teaching these kids, our kids that. We teaching our kids just what we think. Oh, go out and do this and do that and do this and do that. We got to stop that type of nonsense. Start telling them the truth. That's why kids like experimenting, because we tell them about the good things, but not the bad things. You can tell a kid, yeah, you can play football, but you know, people get hurt playing football, but you can still play if that's what you want to do. We have to stop saying that the kids are unapproachable, because if you say that, I know how I was in the neighborhood. I was unapproachable at one time until somebody took me aside and say, hey, Gerald, you know what? You better than that. You can accomplish things. You can accomplish things if you put your mind to it. Just like you said, knowledge. Somebody came and told you that. A man said what? Your manifestation is your orientation, if I'm not correct. So then someone told you. All it took was a fleeting thought. It was planted in your head. We have to do the same things with the children. So if we keep saying that the kids are unapproachable, we can't reach them and whatever have you, know what we're doing? We alienate ourselves once again from actually having the opportunity to help our community. So if you're not playing a role in it, you playing a role against it. It's just that simple. We got to stop saying that the kids are the problem. We were a problem at one time. You don't think the parents used to say that about us? Man, them kids, you can't tell them nothing. They do just what they want to do. And we did. Clubbing, drinking, smoking, getting on drugs and everything. I know with this panel, I can't say, I know how I used to be. I'm speaking for me. I know how I used to be. And someone had to correct that.
Brother Jerry, you know what I think the difference is, this is my opinion. We had respect for our elders. No, we did what we did just like them was doing, just like these kids doing now. Man, dude, when we was on the corners cursing and doing what we was doing, when we see an elderly lady or an elderly man walk down, we stopped all that. We went to
them. Yeah, that's right.
They went down the street and then continued to do what we was doing. These days, man, these kids, man, I'm 55, I'm going on 55. These kids act like I ain't even that hell.
Yeah, right.
Anything come out their mouth, man.
I still think
that's the training that they have, man. And that goes back to what Knowledge was saying, and that's the question that you originally asked, Ken Waldo, was about them, what happened when, and let's take it back to the point where you said the government came and removed the man out of the house and stretched the woman, you know. And when he mentioned stretching the woman, that means because even when the man was removed out of the house, even when they did mass incarceration,
right,
the black woman was still bringing her children to them penitentiaries.
Oh, was.
You see what I'm saying? So they had to step it up a notch.
Yeah.
And so what they did was they started miseducating. They started bringing in all types. They started coming in with new types of drugs. You know, they start allowing the children to drop out to the point where the woman will get so stressed out that she no longer can make those pilgrimages to these prisons to keep the family dynamic together because she's overwhelmed now. You see what I'm saying? And so with that, the globalists saw that was the dissension. That was the beginning of the dissension. So what we do and what they done was they began to make these movies. You know, these I Can Do Bad by Myself movies, all these black men hating movies. And then they began to deal, then they started working on the youth. We're gonna raise them to be haters of father figures and their fathers.
Yeah.
So you get Boys in the Hood, you get all these movies where it's all this chaos and all this self-hatred in the black community. Now, as with the cocktail of the drugs and the oppression and depression, because you're living in impoverished dwellings. You see what I'm saying? That is a combination for destruction, you know, and they just sat back, and what they did was pay, like Ali was saying, pay people that look like you and I, Snoop, Lil Wayne, you know, and pay them gracefully, rawly, to push that message of death and self-hatred in the black community, which we don't want to accept. Now, we got mad at Snoop and all them for playing for Trump, but we okay when he pushes that shit in the community, when they pumping gin and juice and talking about busting a nut in women, bitches and hoes. It's okay when he do it, you know, in front of your nieces and nephews, but when he done it, well, which he participated in that minstrel show, which he is a tool, you know, a weapon of mass destruction. When you break all that down, when they used him, you see what I'm saying, to push filth, because this is all you hear now, and now it's a marketable thing, and this is all they push now. Every rapper wants to rap about you know, pulling trains on young girls, gang raping, pill popping, being all high off codeine and syrup and mollies and X, you know, pushing whips, wearing ice, killing another nigga. This is all you hear in this music now. And with that oppression, and then they tease the youth. They tell them you ain't shit unless you iced up. You got front row seats at the Lakers game. You see what I'm saying? You ain't front row at the Baby and all these different concerts, and you know, and that makes them feel less than. And so that puts them in the point, because the father's gone there. He done came home, and most of them come home and some of them be on some other shit, and they end up going back on violations. Some come home and get frustrated, and they resort to drugs or alcohol. Some come home and they've been replaced by what they call stepfathers, you know, and that's a whole nother situation within itself. Because you know, that's a hurting feeling when you come home and your kids call another motherfucker daddy, you know, and then the only excuse you got that you wasn't there, you know. But that's something different. But I'm saying, far as what created this monster. Now, if you look at it, me and Ali were feeding. We were actually going in tents. We were actually going in them tents before that mayor bulldozed those tents on the bridge underpass. We were actually going in there, man. Right. Now, that was 2018, 2019. Now, if you notice, from 2020 to now, the rage and self-hatred in our communities has risen to an epidemic level. Just think about that. Jab, a lot of things have taken place. A lot of diseases have taken places. We've seen women put their children in microwaves. We've seen men throw their children out high-rise buildings and all of this type of stuff because of these plays that they ran. Because every time we shake something off, they always have something else waiting. They always have something else waiting. But what they don't perceive, and that goes back to what we all been talking about, what they don't perceive is us coming together, and understanding what the play is.
Yeah,
that's what they.
I was just about to ask while you was talking. I was about to ask, what do y'all think is the solution that it solves some of the problems that we're going through right now?
Gerald talked about you got to go back in. You got to get back in the trenches, back in the community.
Involved in the community.
You got to let them know. When the last time one of these young brothers in Central City or down in Moreland and on the west end of Atlanta or Park Heights and Woodland in Baltimore, when it was the last time one of them 16 or 17-year-olds had a solid man to dap them up and give them a hug and say that they love them and they mean that and they can feel that energy?
Thank you.
You see what I'm saying? When was the last time? And most 90% of the time, if you ask them after you do that, they'll tell you, I don't even know, Pop. I don't even know,
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And by being, yeah, man, I done worked with so many thousands of youths in this city, and a lot of them in their 30s now.
What?
Like 15 or 20% of them are deceased, by not listening in groups running their own program. But Marvin, by him running the boxing, see, it just ain't about no boxing and train nobody to be the next Mayweather, none of that.
Right.
Because each day that they're in the gym, that's a bullet that they ducking.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Some of them go to the gym because they know my coach. If I tell my coach I'm hungry,
That's right.
he probably give me some dinner. He probably give me something to eat. And that's more of a motivator. That's support. You see what I'm saying? Ali has a son that's a pro boxer. You see what I'm saying? It's those type of things, man. History. I watched them boys since they've been about 7 or 8 years old. Some of Abdullah was younger than that, but now they're grown men. But they had a man. They had some direction. See, most of them don't have that. Most of them don't have that, man. A lot of these children were born through a drug deal, tricking. You see what I'm saying? And then they'll find out later on when they're 11 or 12 that their biological father denied them and said that, nah, that's not my baby, and all this type of stuff. You know how that sits in the mind of a child? And so these are cocktails, man. We haven't had to have that experience. The only thing we can do is be empathetic. But we do have the resources, we do have the man energy to get out there, and embrace them. A lot of them are done. Let's not be, this ain't gonna end no yellow brick road, no Cinderella shit. A lot of them out there are fucking irreparable. We got to be clear about that. A lot of them are so far gone, there's no rehabilitation in them. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, most of them, can they can be restored. They can be given some hope. They can be motivated to do better. But you got that percentage, like they do on the news. They'll show the shootings. That's the first thing they show in the mornings. Who got killed, and then the weather and traffic. It's routine.
Mm-hmm.
Unless a cracker's dog is missing, that shit's gonna be on all day. That's gonna be on all day. But usually
it's one of them bicycle got stolen.
Yeah, Spot was last seen at the mall and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? And they'll waste airtime with that. But it's always who got shot, who got killed, whose house was on fire. Then they go to sports, and then they go to the weather, and then they do traffic. So on the media will portray to make it appear like all of our youth are weed smoking, gun toting, gang banging thugs, and it's not like that. They're more youth in college than they are in prison. But they'll never tell you that. They'll never push that. They'll never show Marvin training and but they'll show Floyd's father. They'll show all these other big people. They'll show Eddie Hearn and all these other devils that are robbing these athletes. They'll show all of that. You know what I'm saying? And give them the credit. But the people that put the most work in, like I always say, those known and unknown.
That's right.
And hey, Marvin, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you,
virgin.
That's
That's
one
your
thing.
Marvin virgin.
And you know what? Hey,
Yeah, that's your Marvin virgin.
I'm gonna tell you something, brother. I agree. Definitely, I'm listen to it, man. Because definitely, I'm a definitely good listener and a good student. Like I said, I didn't work with your sons before, brother. Know that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't work.
Go ahead.
I don't work. Like I said, I don't. Be honest. Right now, if I'm, I'm not gonna tell no outrageous story, but I'm just gonna say that I done deal with brothers, man. That right now I shouldn't be living in a mansion right now. I done deal with the Petersons. I done deal with the Russells. I done deal with the white hair cracker boy, Dusty Harrison. I done deal with a lot of guys that became superstars. It was just like for some reason. Every kid or every person I touch, man, becomes a world champion or a hell of a contender with this Boston thing. And I just have a touch for that, I mean, because like I said, I grew up myself, my uncle Andrew Maynard. You got some of you guys, y'all know Andrew.
Right.
Andrew never, we used to go fight him, beat up, knock jokers out over in glass, man, whoop them and come on back home. And Andrew knocked about 3 or 4 people out. So I'm saying, man, you need to start boxing, And I told him I started off with him with the strength and conditioning coach. When as being a strength and conditioning coach, I didn't know that I wasn't do strength and conditioning until I went to jail. When I went to jail, I just started studying it. I was doing aerobic class for a lot of people and everything. And then I had this European dude was like about 360 pounds. Man, I worked with this cracker for like 6 months. He went from 3-something to like 185. And he one day I was in the visiting room and he told my mother, he said, you know what? He said, man, your son's is a great man, helped save my life. But it was just something I was doing. That wasn't my intention to do that. But like you said, there's a lot of kids that's here in DMV. Like you said, they're not gonna become world champions enough like that. And like I said, I do the same thing. And like you said, but it is sometimes hard to talk to certain ones, but if I can reach 1 or 2 of them, I'm good. So some of them, I hate to say it, some of them just gotta die out. You just gotta let them go ahead and take the bullet and go about their business and keep it moving. I mean, just in some of them. I'm not saying in all cases, but like I said, and like our generation, like you said, generations before us, they were saying the same thing like you said, Brother Joe. They were saying like, oh, them niggas, man, they hard-headed. But like your brother said, we was more respectful. We playing dice or drinking or whatever. See somebody, oh man, hold on, watch out, man, stop the game. We stop. How you doing, Mr. Sir? And let them go about their business. But these guys now, I'm gonna tell you what really happened. We are the ones that fought for that because we allowed this European to put so much fear in us because we got a job and we got a good clearance. And then they said, if your mother or your father test you, you call that damn police and we're gonna take that clearance from her ass. So what she do? I want my clearance. I had my son. I got a 16-year-old son. His mother called me. You come over here and discipline him. I got a good job. I don't want to mess up my clearance. I said I will break his goddamn neck. And one day I actually really choked. I went over there to talk to him. He swung on me. Man, I tried to choke. I touched every wall in that room with him, man. And I ain't kidding about none of that. But these Europeans made it so they put fear in us. And while them putting fear in us, that made this kid stronger for them to say, nigga, you ain't gonna touch me because I'll pick up this phone, call 911, and your ass is out of here. Or I divorce you. It's so many laws that they got now. A kid can say they don't want to be with you no more, and they can go to the next foster care or whatever they go at. You know what I mean? And you know how our parents would say, look, if I can't whoop his ass or her ass, what they gonna do? They'll pack your stuff up, you come and get him, you take care of him.
Take him with
See,
you.
that's the old school, you know what I mean? And I'm going back with Chocolate say, you know, we don't want to go always back in the days, you know, what we used to do, but that's the truth about it. You know, our parents will whoop your ass, and then the people down the street will whoop your ass when you're doing something. If you're doing something outrageous. But right now, you touch the kid down, if you scream on the kid, you got a 23 or 24-year-old mother father come and blow your head off. For you just hollering at the child, just correcting the child. I just hollered because he was about to run the street. He's about to get hit. Don't you holler at my damn kid. You know, this young generation is just warped, man. You know what I mean? But like I said, I deal with a lot of kids, athletes and non-athletes. I know when kids, I see some ladies bring their kids through the door, and I hate to say it, these boys gay as hell. These little boys gay as hell, and they think I'm going to be able to whoop them in shape or do something to make them tough to bring that gayness out of them. No, you can't do that. You know what I mean? It's already there. The seed is already there. Like you said, brother. The father's been taken out the household. So when the father took out the household, what the little boy, they back and got 6 or 7 sisters, or maybe 3 sisters, and the mother see her putting all this lipstick on, her eyelashes. He get to doing that. You know, before you know when he go out, he get to trying to put eyelashes on, lipstick, and put her pump shoes on, wear Louis Vuitton dress, and, you know, try to put her drawers and all that on. Why they get, you know what I mean? And the first thing what the mother say, I look, well, he can be whatever he wants to. I still love my child. You know, that's crazy how we think like that. I still
Hey
love him.
man, hey bro,
Man,
I told my children, brother, I said that with the stuff that I taught y'all, if you ever went that way, we done.
thank you, bro. And look, but you
You know,
have women are so sympathetic and so soft-hearted. Man, I gotta say, I'm gonna tell you, my son turned gay or not, the day on Mars, I do not deal with it. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not dealing
yeah,
with him. Period. He can't come
no,
around me. He ain't bringing no boys around me. No, none
nah.
of that. None of that gonna happen.
We all feel that way.
I mean,
Yeah,
look,
nothing.
we want our sons with women because you know when they bring these beautiful little women to meet the dad, you be like, oh, go ahead, boy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now imagine he brings some Negro to your house. You be like, what? Hey, what?
Yeah.
Hey,
But Marvin, man, what you was doing with the boxing, man, that stuff is so effective, man. Because I mean, you used to do the same thing, and that was the best, man. That's one of the best programs to get into the minds of these youth, man. I ain't lying, man. It's real effective, man. And you know, the thing is though, you got the women who bring all their boys. The father, you rarely see a father bring the child to the gym. It'd be the mother bring it, and then she'll sit right there and watch. And then if you hard on them, she'll pull you aside like, don't you think you're a little too hard on them? You know? And like, what you want me to do? Yeah, I know.
Believe me, I definitely been there, but like I said,
I know.
I work with some of the kids. I done work with kids, man, where almost messed my marriage up. Because I got so addicted to one man, I got so close to one little kid, was 8, 9 years old, but he was living viciously foul. When I say foul, you go in his house, I thought that was an abandoned house. I mean, literally trash everywhere. Dogs smelling in the house, pissy, raggedy, no lights. And I had this little kid, 19 years old. You would thought he was my son. You would actually really thought this kid my son. I got pictures in my phone right now. He was 12 years old. He got shot in his back, and the bullet came out his neck. You know who the person they called him when he was over to the hospital? They didn't call his biological father. They called me. I had to come over there and fake like I was his father in order to understand. It's like you say, but it's like you said, being in this Boston.
Hey, Marvin, you remember Quick, right?
Yeah, I had Quick.
Hey, bro, look, Quick. Hey, look, man, that young brother, I used to talk to him all the time, man. You know what I mean? And he listened, man. But nobody stayed on top of him, man. And I'm telling you, that young brother. Hey, Marvin, was that brother? That brother was bad, man.
That brother used to beat the brakes off of Javante Tank Davis. He
Yeah, hell yeah. Hey,
he
look,
used to
hey,
beat
bro,
the brakes off of him. I fought
I
against
said
Tank
all the
Davis when he was
time.
young. He beat
I
him
said
every
all the
time he
time.
fought. You know, he
All
like
the
I said,
time, brother. Man,
like I
all
said,
and look, you know what? We went to see a fight at the armory.
yeah.
Froze up, brother.
Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead, Marv.
Oh yeah. Oh, like you said, he's talking about this kid Quick. I don't want to have Quick. I had him. I worked with him as an amateur, and I had him as a pro fighter. But he had the type of mindset though that one. If I say something to him, is there anything? But as soon as I leave, somebody else come behind me. He would listen to him. That's why we sort of because pretty much I had to take him to court. I had to take him to court. I took a couple other fighters that I was the pro fighters that I was dealing with. And one of the pro fighters' father said, "Marv, I thought you was a street nigga." I said, "Yeah, I am a street nigga. I'm gonna take you on Main Street in Upper Marlboro and get my money." And that's what
That's
I
right.
did with him.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
right.
Because like I said,
That's right.
Yeah.
I did it like white folks do. White folks ain't gonna fight you and go because if I
Fight
go
you,
back and
yep.
forth
They go on the
with you and
court.
all that. Yeah, exactly. And that's what
They
I
go
did.
on
And
the court.
everybody looked at me crazy. You know what I mean? And I even took Quick. The kid he talking about. I took Quick to court, sued him for $20,000, but I know I wasn't gonna get it because he didn't have that type of money. But I wanted to let him know that this is a business. This is not personal.
That's
I've been
right.
knowing
They
you
ain't
since he
personal.
was a kid.
They ain't
But when
personal.
he turned pro, he was a grown man. I put the contract before him and his mother. They looked over it, came back to me, signed it, and we went from there. But like I said, this brother was a hell of a fighter. But like I said, the streets catch up with him, man. They don't want to listen to what we got to say. They hang out there, and then when this brother came to the gym with tattoos on his face, I thought I was looking at a road map, so I knew that he was just gone from that point on. But
Hey,
like I said, like the brother Shaka said, Boston is pretty much one of the best. I mean, one of the best sports that you can bring a kid in, so you can really get to know them. Because, like I said, it ain't always about. I teach boxing, but sometimes I talk to them, sit down, like I say, I'm fed brothers, broke. I made. Hey, I looked at them, shoes all ragged and everything, clothes dirty. Hey, I bought them a little. I just subliminally, I didn't put them down. I just bought certain things. I might bought, take this home, take these shoes, or buy this or do this. Matter of fact, you ain't get your hair cut, let me go to this barbershop. Took it to the barbershop, spent my own money for time. And then when I did that, I got in the minds of because they started saying, this person, now you can get their attention. Like I said, we can't get their attention if we're not giving them something.
that's right.
Like you said, you
Exactly.
can't go down. You can't go over there. I used to have ran a bracket little jokers about a 25-hour store. You couldn't get in their head. Only way I got in their head and got a friend them and to get things from, I gave them things. So when they get, that's MCMR. So therefore, I had the MCM trucks. Nowadays, you gotta be like a celebrity. You gotta have something that they see that they don't have in order for to get their edge. Just like about saying, if we go back in the community, we can't just go back with it, with a whole bunch of brotherly love talking. We got to bring something to show them something different. You can't just,
Right.
hey man, stop selling
Right.
these drugs. Nigga, what? What place, what you got? What did you have for me to make this type of money I'm getting ready to make? I'm trying to make anyway. Even though the money they make in the street now is nowhere near the money we making
Nope.
in the 80s and
Nope.
early 90s.
Nope.
Nowhere near that. You know what I mean? We didn't sell no fentanyl. We're not gonna set up in no desk and bag up something that we tested. Then 5 minutes later we hung over, we dead from testing it. We didn't sell nothing like that. You know what I mean?
That's
But
right.
we, like I said, the crack pandemic did a whole bunch on, a real number on our people, and we have also, you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, we definitely got to find a solution, like the brother said, way as though we can get into the community and talk to some of these brothers. But like I said, only a few of them we're gonna be able to say because a lot of them just got them blinders on, and there's nothing you can talk to. I mean, nothing. I mean, we might say, brother, I can help you. No, you can't. You just can't help. You just gotta let them die out and you gotta let the old die out and bring the new. That's it. That's it. You catch them in that early age in elementary, you got something. Anything out elementary school, or they ain't been to school, they dropped out the 6th and 7th grade. That's a wrap. Ain't nothing you can do with these brothers. I hate to say it. It's
Hey,
nothing.
Marvin.
I mean, that I think you can do.
Marvin, I want to tell you about an incident that occurred when we was kids, because we all come out the same area, especially me, you, and Shop.
Yes, sir.
But we all come out some of the same communities and neighborhoods. When
Correct.
we were younger, I would never forget this. I laugh about it every time I think about it. Your Uncle Andrew, you know how him and my brother Rob used to be real close. And
Exactly.
people used to think they looked alike. My mother thought they looked alike so much they had heads alike. She kept calling, Rob, turn around, boy, come here. Come here. And Andrew was sitting there, and she said, you don't hear me talking to you. So she walked up behind him and smacked him upside the head, and all us went, Mom, that's not Rob, that's Andrew.
Yeah. Hey, you ain't lying. He stuck up there. You would thought it was hard. He was the brothers, because he stayed on. I mean, this was being a house. That just be outside there. He'd be there.
Did. But I just could never get over that, man. We teased my mom. My mom was, oh, I'm so sorry. And when you was talking about respect, and that was respect, because some of them kids nowadays, they probably would have turned around and did something. But then we still, this is what I did want to touch on. The fact that when we said we had respect for the people in the neighborhood, now some of us did. Let's not say our whole group used to be like that, because some of us used to say, man, get up, man. Don't see them people coming. Man, get out the way. Everybody wasn't like that, because they would stay right there doing what they was doing. But it took one or two of us out of that group to say, hey, you know what, man, get out the way. Because the principles, the morals, and the values and the virtues that were set with us, we instilled it. Like they say, what you learn at home, you take outside of the home. What you learned at home, you bring back inside the home. You didn't put on that type of activity of where you disregard what an adult said, or you didn't listen to your elders on what they said, because that's what's taught to us. How you gonna teach it to kids now when we saying, okay, they no good? We can't teach you. And as you said, and all y'all was straight, y'all was right on with what you said. There are gonna be those kids that we can't save. And I know I did the same thing when I dealt with kids in the court system. I know one of them out of the kids I was teaching, he dead now. And I'm quite sure he couldn't be no more than about 35 at the most, because I know how old I was, and I know they was like 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 coming out the judicial system. So yeah, there's something that's not going to be saved, but I can say this. There was one young man, he challenged me on everything. I mean, everything. He even talked about he was going down to prison to be with his uncle and do this and do that. And I said, man, you don't want to be immersed in that type of system, man, in a prison, because you don't know what's coming. Your uncles in them might not be able to save you. And you know what? At the end of the day, do you know he was the one that came in with the tie on, with the t-shirt? I mean, with the dress shirt on with a tie, and he said, Mr. Moore, I listened to everything you said. So we gotta look at it. We don't know who we gonna save.
That's true.
You know what? So we can't push them all aside. Some you're gonna know the ones that's not gonna pay attention. You know, but they're gonna be. It's just their attitude about everything.
Right.
So I
all
say,
right, gentlemen, go ahead, brother.
No, you go ahead now.
I was gonna say, all right, gentlemen, it's time to end the show. You guys go ahead and get your last remarks.
Well, the only thing I can say, brother, man, it's a pleasure, man, meeting all you guys, man. I hope this won't be the first and last time, man. We need to do this more often, come up with a solution and see what we can do, brother, and move out on this. Not talk about it, but be about it.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Thank Brother Gerald.
Yeah, I would say this. Wherever we can help, just like we want to talk to people in the communities, the kids are part of the community. And as they say, the kids are our future. If we don't take an initiative and be inherently or adhere to doing the things that's going to help them to prosper or grow, man, we in trouble.
Yeah, but you know what I have to say, I remember, like the brother said, crack really ripped our communities open. I was a teenager doing crack. But before crack, we was actually a village. You know, if I did something wrong, not only Miss Johnson would whoop my ass, you know, she'll tell my parents would whoop my ass when I was doing wrong. We used to, if we needed some butter, we'd go right to the next door, Mrs. Barnett, go get a stick of butter, or she would get some sugar. We knew everybody in our community.
That's
so
right.
we need to bring our village back. So to me, that's what's wrong. We don't know the people in our community. So how can we can't even call ourselves, there is no community anymore. So that's the problem right there. And we're about to end it. Hey man, anytime you want to come on, man, thanks for coming on. Thanks for following, brother. Shocking, brother
Peace,
Gerald.
brother.
Thank you. That's dope. What you're doing, I like that, because that's real. You can follow those who want to feed. Appreciate y'all. We love y'all. I always come to supporting us every week. I see the same names coming on. If you haven't subscribed to the Vocal Dialect YouTube show, subscribe to the channel. Hit them right. Make comments and stuff. Help us give out this information, because that's what we do, give out positive information, and we keep the real as well. You can follow us, Vocal Dialect, on YouTube right now, TikTok, Facebook, and IG as well. Follow the brother General, Shaktiuma, that's our big brother. Man, now his big brother, been kicking it hard for about, 3 years now? Real.
Yeah.
Brother Jeremiah, real solid brothers, man. Y'all are big brothers, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, follow brother Shaka, T Shaka Santa Kofa on Facebook. Come on between about 8:30 p.m. During the weekday, sometime on the weekend. But follow brother T Shaka Santa Kofa. He give out the real information. He keep it raw and uncut. When the next time you come on, brother T Shaka?
Tomorrow, probably be between 8:30 and 9 p.m.
All right, so yeah, we'll be on next Wednesday. Brother Marvin, anytime you want to come on the show, man, hit us up. We here, man. You all right?
I definitely will.
That's right.
I told you, bro. I told you, man. It's your turn, man. It's your turn for real.
Man. You family, man. You already know that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. It's your turn, man.
Also, shout out to the other brother that came in, Brother Blackfoot, as well.
Yeah, Ali.
Brother Ali. Yeah, that's
we appreciate everybody, and we'll be back again next Wednesday. And hey, we thank everybody, man. I ain't gonna say nothing else, man. Peace and power, peace and light. We see y'all.